few more minutes while waiting for other attendees. All right, so I'm gonna share my screen for now. Thank you for that. Okay, so I guess we can start. Okay, welcome everyone to the third session of Customer Success Fundamentals. So for today's topic, we're going to be talking about the customer visibility. But before that, I'll just introduce ourselves. So welcome everyone. I am Elle. I am one of the customer success managers for the Sofas MDR. So I've been with the company for almost 2 years now, turning 2 years in July actually. So alongside me today, I also have Chris. So it's just going to be introducing herself.
All right. Thanks, Elle. Hi, everyone. I am Chris Rioja, one of your CSMs based in the Philippines. Just like Elle, we serve as your point of contact for any MDR related inquiries and any feature requests or feedback. You can send us an email at mdr-csm@sofas.com. I have been with Sofas for quite some time, starting as a sales development rep. And same as Elle, I've almost a CSM for almost 2 years, 1 year and 7 months to be exact. And for today's session, customers visibility, just an important reminder to do not share or disclose any sensitive or privileged company information during our Q&A, since MDR cases will not be discussed.
All right, thank you for that, Chris. So jumping in straight to our agenda. So for first one in the list, we have the MDR dashboard overview or some of those enhancements that we just launched recently. So that's going to be the first part of our discussion today. And then we're going to jump into the weekly and monthly reports, those reports that we generate on a regular basis. And then Chris will be discussing on the MDR cases. We'll be sharing as well some of these helpful links that we have for the MDR resources, and of course, an open floor for the Q&A section. And then lastly, of course, we're also going to be sharing an updated contact information of our team. So, yep, let's get started then. So first, new to the MDR dashboard, we're going to be talking about those enhancements. More visibility, more insights. And the first one that we have in here is the custom dashboard. So custom dashboard, aside from the default dashboard that you have under the MDR, of course, you can also create a custom one for you. So under the manage dashboard, you have the create new, and then from there, you will be presented of this field that you can actually fill out. So you will be presented of the name that you want to call your dashboard or your custom dashboard, and then you can add some simple description. And then from there, you will also be presented of all these widgets that you can play around. So you can utilize the filters in here just to see or which product actually applies to you. So it could be an XDR, MDR, firewall, or an endpoint. So from there, you have here all these widgets. It could be all the alerts, all those cases that you had for the last year, 3 months, 6 months, top alerts categories, top entities, devices, most devices that gets the most actions, anything that you don't see on the default dashboard, some of those widgets are actually available in here. Okay, but of course, you cannot delete the default dashboard that you have under the MDR. And later on, once we go through the dashboard walkthrough, we're going to be showcasing on how you can create this custom dashboards. But for now, I'll just go through the slides. Aside from the custom dashboard, we have here the additional widgets. And all of these three widgets right here will be discussed by Chris.
All right. Thanks, Elle. So we have some dashboard enhancements, additional widgets. You can see we have the threat hunts by MITRE attack tactics. We also have a drop down menu for the last 30 days, 3 months, 6 months, up to a year. And we also have threat hunt and intel effort, detection engineering effort as well. So let's go over the threat hunt and intel effort. This widget shows three important metrics that highlight the value of our proactive efforts. So we have the total effort by the hours. So this metric tracks the total hours spent by our threat hunting team and intelligence teams. It represents the time dedicated to tracking adversary groups, analyzing attack techniques, and gathering intelligence to better protect your environment. So you are seeing the same figures, the same as our 28,000 customers using MDR. And also for the detection engineering effort, we have, yeah, you can also drop down menu for the last 30 days, 3 months, up to a year. I will show you later on where could you find this nice widgets, but we also have here total efforts by the hour, new and modified detection results. And we are also mapping out our threat hunts to our MITRE attack framework. So we have our MITRE attack tactics, different instances, and you can see on the latest post, we have the weekly threat brief, monthly threat cast, and threat research RSS. So there would be a hyperlink on that. So you will be taken to the MDR community channel. And then for your threat RSS, you can also paste that one out so you can be very much updated with latest threat research. All right. So yes, an additional enhancement is our event pipeline. So this shows how data flows through Sophos and how the MDR service processes it. We also have a drop-down menu, last 30 days, 3 months, 6 months, up to a year. And we have our first one. These are just a sample, the detections. So threat-related detections, all detections made in your environment. And then we have escalated and correlated detection. So we focus on the most important detections by filtering out the noise. Then we are filtering out up to your cases. So any automatically generated cases based on your actionable detections will be posted. It is also going to be posted in your cases section. And for any incidents, just so you have a visualization on how many incidents, hopefully not, but any serious cases involving confirmed system compromises or threats like attackers, data destruction, or exfiltration will be also posted there. It's on the bottom part of your MDR dashboard, and just a bullet point, 3 bullet points here. This is very much important detections for investigation, just so you would see the metrics or what is happening behind the scenes for MDR.
All right, thank you, Chris. So moving on to the additional health checks. So yeah, the purpose of this sessions or webinars like this is also to serve as a refreshers to our customers. That's why we're going through this additional widgets that I'm sure you've seen from the past webinars as well. So first part of the additional widgets is the data telemetry, and the next one is the authorized contacts. So first, authorized contacts, we you know this so well. These are the people from your team that we will be engaging with in events that we have to engage. This could either be via email or via phone call, depending on the severity of those cases. So authorized contacts, this is now part of your additional health check, and it's always going to measure whether you have at least one person configured as an authorized contacts. And we know how essential this is in a way that this actually serves as an important factor in order for our operations team to reach you. Okay. Next one, we have the data telemetry. So this overall measures or checks the recommended settings for sending telemetry data and whether they are enabled or not. So telemetry data helps enhance your protection by improving threat detections. And these are the specific factors that it checks. First, we have the send threat graph data to Sophos. Send intercept X data to Sophos as well. And for the last one, we have the malware sample submission. So those are the three factors that affects this data telemetry component here under the additional health checks. So overall, we now have six components or elements that affects your additional, or sorry, that affects your overall health check score. Okay, so for now, for the next part of the discussion, we're just going to be sharing our screen so we can go through the dashboard and show you where these enhancements are actually located. All right. So, Chris, can you see it?
Yes.
All right, so for the first part, I'm just gonna go through the custom dashboard, the additional health checks, and then I'm gonna be passing the mic to Chris, so she can discuss as well this additional widgets that we have under the MDR dashboard. Okay, so for the custom dashboard in here, you can just go through the dashboard. We have here manage dashboard. And like what I've shown in the slides earlier, you can create a new one. So for the sake of this discussion, I'm just gonna check test and then custom dashboard. Custom, it should be custom. Okay. And then you can also add a short description here on how you want to describe this custom dashboard that you're creating. And then hit next. And then, like I mentioned, you will be presented of all these widgets that is available for you. And you have these filters depending on the product that you are interested in. It could be the XDR, just the MDR, firewall, or even endpoint. So for example, you have here an MDR or the Sophos firewall. And these are all the widgets that is available for you to use. First, you have here the event pipeline. You want to see what we're doing in the background, how many detections we're observing, how many out of those detections actually created the case, how many of those detections led to an actual incident. So, for example, those are the things that you are interested in. And then part of your firewall solution here, we have the central firewall reporting firewalls connected or connection status. Or for example, you're heavy on the cases, how many cases that you have, how many cases were escalated. You can also check this out here. Total cases count, cases summary, and of course, those detections. What are the type of detections we're observing? Which devices gets the most detections, the total detection count. So those are just some of these widgets that is available for you to play around or explore with. And then once this is done, definitely you can just save it here. So let's just wait for a few seconds in here while everything loads, and then you can hit done. So while the default dashboard cannot be deleted, of course, you can use your newly created one for you. So test custom dashboard, and then from here, you will be presented of this new custom dashboard that we just created. And then you can play around the filters, you can backtrack up to the 7 days, and then after the last 6 months, that is on the pipeline. For the central firewall, you have your Sophos firewall as well, or any firewall that's integrated with the MDR. So you can use that as well. Cases escalation, how many cases that you had for the past year, the severity of those cases or their classification. It could be by severity, by their status, by their cases type, management type, escalation, or verdict. So total detection count, of course, this will not be missed. You can also have this part of your custom dashboard. And then aside from this one, you can also export this, and this could serve as your internal high-level report. And you can always do this independently. For example, you want to see how many cases that you had for the last year. So definitely you can just create a custom dashboard and then export those information. And then from here, it could serve as a high-level report, something that you can use internally, whether you want to discuss just those cases that you had. And yep, aside from the custom dashboard, like I mentioned earlier, we have here the additional health checks. And if you've been an MDR customer for like few years now or like a few months back when when we just had four components of the account health check, you may notice that we just recently added the authorized contacts as well as the data telemetry. So for the account health check, we always say this is your high level overview of your current security posture. It's going to tell you whether you have here some devices, endpoints, or servers that is not protected, whether you have devices with tamper protection turned off, whether you have policies or exclusions that do not align with the best practices or the recommended settings of the service. And then for the newly added health checks right here, we have the authorized contacts, which actually measures whether you have at least one or two contacts, just one contact that we can reach out to in events that For example, we're investigating some cases. We have to engage. We might need to have you um, implement some of those recommendations in terms of the case's resolution. So that's the purpose of having the authorized contacts, and that actually affects your overall health check score. So to know more information about this, so you can just click this icon right here, and you can go from there. And next one right here, we have the data telemetry. So it all measures the overall capacity of us receiving those telemetries from your resources. So that's what it measures. And yep, aside from that as well, you can now export all of your policies. So this is something that we just found out recently. You can also export all of those policies that is enforced across your account health check. So this could also serve as some kind of report if you are like interested in knowing your overall security posture and high level approach. Yep. So I'm just gonna pass the mic to Chris so she can discuss the additional widgets that we had in the dashboard.
All right. Thanks, Elle. And yes, I just love those features that we could export PDF file in terms of account health check, and even our dashboard we can customize. Allow me to share my screen.
Okay.
Uh,
Right. So there you go.
and if our just before I share my screen, if our customer has any questions, they can always post it on our Q&A box. We will be addressing some frequently asked questions as well. And for any live questions, feel free to chat on that box. So, hope you're seeing the screen for MDR cases.
Yep, I can see it.
Mm. Okay, so this is just a snapshot of our sample cases. If you just go to log into your Essential My Products MDR, you can go to cases and you will be taken to the Threat Analysis Center. And yeah, this is, we have, maybe I can also share it later on for our dashboard overview or dashboard showcase. But cases are either generated manually or automatically, depends on you. We have Sophos managed cases and also self managed cases. We automatically create cases for detections that are most likely to require investigations. But you can also manually create one either for your team or for an MDR, so, self service review, or MDR service review. And let me just share it. All right. So these are all the cases. It's now consolidated on our TAC or Threat Analysis Center. If you just wanted to see all of your cases, it's going to be here. If you wanted to filter it out according to the severity, whether it's high, critical, or medium, you can just hit apply and you will see all of your cases. So for critical cases, it's a confirmed compromise or unauthorized access that poses an imminent threat to customer or MSP assets. So this includes interactive attackers, data encryption, destruction, and data exfiltration. You can see some high related severity of cases. So this is indicating a targeted attack that could lead to a confirmed compromise or unauthorized access, posing a serious threat. We can share to you our case severity matrix, but for medium, these are detections that may not be malicious on their own and are not known to be targeted, but our team could be opening a case for that. And we also have a low informational. Your very first case as an MDR customer is our account health check, MDR account health check. So you can request unlimited if you have modified your policies, added some devices. You can also request one for low types of cases. These are detections that do not indicate poor health, malicious activity, or unauthorized access. So we have several or various ways in requesting a threat hunt. You can call the team, you can email the team, but a very easy way is to just hit create case, manage service request, hit continue, and just you can just request a threat hunt, indicate your host names here, and be as descriptive as possible. And for other cases, we have the self-managed case, like what I said, if you wanted to assign it to your other admins, want to investigate it yourself. And also, if you have managed risk license, you can also request or open a managed risk case. I'll take you real quick to the presentation. So after this one, so this is just a case example. So we have some recommendations, analysis. If our team is escalating a case, opening a case number for you, then you might be seeing this as on your case ID. And I'm just gonna go over this one. So the escalation of MDR cases to you as our MDR customers involves several steps. We have our initial assessment and investigation. So our analyst is performing an initial investigation of the case. If the situation requires escalation, then that analyst will be proceeding on the escalation process. So if you have critical or high severity case, you might you will be receiving a phone call. And for any actions done by our team, you will be there would be a summary. And this is just a case example. We will be coordinating with you, and we'll make sure that you will fully understand the situation. And we also have recommendations if it's beyond our scope. And for your MDR customer success team, we would be helping on bridging some of the communications. And in terms of the follow-up and resolution, we would continue to monitor and provide updates to you as our MDR customer until the issue is closed and resolved. This may involve additional communication and coordination with the customer and internal. So this is just another widget on the help and guidance tab on Central. So all of our customers are having this visibility, but L, just in case you would like to add more on the cases section before I go over the help and guidance tab.
No, I guess you're good. I mean, in terms of the cases, yeah, just the communication for anything that is not urgent and not time sensitive. Cases will be emailed to all of the authorized contacts, and then for anything that is urgent and needs immediate attention from their team, that's when we will start calling the primary person and just working our way down their phone tree. So I guess that's it.
Yeah. So yeah, make sure that your numbers are updated, including
Yeah.
your addresses. And yeah, whitelist those email addresses from our MDR team and your customer success team. All right. So for the help and guidance tab on Central, I'll just this is more on the proactive side in terms of learning and assessment. If you want to do NIST assessment, we have that. We have 3 different tabs on the help and guidance, like Sophos Advisory Services, Sophos Academy, Sophos Learning Center. I will just be walking you through real quick. If you just go over the graduation cap. So I'm just going to cancel this case. If you just go here, so you will be seeing our help and guidance tab for any incident response. If you wanted to do incident response planner, NIST cybersecurity assessment, and also this one. So there's a bunch of good stuff that you can check out in terms for your team. If you have new team members, if you wanted to maybe subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. So it's going to be here, Sophos Academy, both for partners and also customers. You have different trainings, not just MDR, but you want to have a firewall training. So you can access the partner training if you're an MSP or customer training, and basically a bunch of stuff aside from the MDR community channel. And for the Learning Center, this is your YouTube channel for have good demo videos. So any attack simulation will be here. If you wanted to get other demos, like for this one, the Sophos AI Assistant, we have it here on Sophos Central. So Lots of stuff. All right. And for our next one, I'll hand it over to Elle for any MDR resources.
All right, thank you, Chris. As our refreshers, for the purpose of these customer success fundamentals, these are some helpful links that we also share to our customers on a regular basis. So, first, we have here a community channel. So, this is for our MDR customers to help them be updated on what's new with the MDR. So, we have here the latest announcements, those Threatcast webinars that we host on a monthly basis, any kind of improvements related to the MDR service. And then all of these resources, it could be integration, installers, the service description, they are all located in one convenient website. So this is where all of this MDR resources is actually available. And then specific to the scope of your service, it could be either an MDR Essential or an MDR Complete user. We also have a high-level documentation on what's included and what those services is meant for you. And then integrations, in the future, if you're planning to integrate more products or more tools to the MDR, this could serve as your high-level documentation and serve as your guidance in terms of those configurations, what are the requirements, specifications needed in order for it to be integrated with the MDR service. And then aside from that, it also comes with technical videos to help you um, or assist you in terms of those questions on the configurations. But if anything, if you require or if you have more technical questions, then we definitely suggest that you go to our technical support team. You can either call them via their phone number or you can always create a technical case ticket via Sofa Support Portal. And then installers, in the future, if you're planning to connect more devices to the central, you can always check out this documentation for the installers. And we also recommend to use the latest agents of our products simply because they have this latest patches, they have this latest updates, security measures, and everything in terms um, of the agent or the product. And then next slide, please. All right, so an open floor for any questions. So for now, we're just going to be sharing some of those questions that we receive on a regular basis in terms of the customer visibility. However, if you have like any questions, feel free to post them in the Q&A sections. We're more than happy to answer them. And if that's something that we cannot address, then definitely we'll be answering those queries via email shortly after the discussion. All right, so let me check if we have like questions in here. Okay, first question, Chris, I have this for you. So, what does detection mean exactly?
All right. So yeah, that's a good one. So how do we generate detections? It's based on the data that your devices upload to the Sophos data lake. We check the data against threat classification rules. When there's a match, we show a detection. It is detections is to identify activity on your devices as are usual or suspicious but hasn't been blocked. And they're different from events where we detect and block activity that we already know to be malicious. I will also be sending out a link regarding more information about detections, but not all detections are threats. All right. So, yes, on to our next question for UL. Who gets the MDR reports?
All right, so reports delivery wise, so those MDR reports are being sent on a regular basis as well. It could be the monthly or the weekly ones, and those reports contain all the activities that you had in your environment for that certain period of time. So just to answer the question, who gets the report? So all your authorized contacts listed under the MDR will be receiving that report unless they opt out. So these reports, we normally send them via email, so we only attach the links for this report. We don't attach the PDF copy of the report as well. However, that link will actually route you to your central account. You have to log in, and then from there, you can download the report under the report history tab in the MDR section of your products. And then the next one, I think it was answered by myself as well. When are they being delivered? So they are being delivered on a monthly and weekly basis. For the weekly one, they're usually being generated every Mondays, and then for the monthly one, they are being generated every first of the month. Okay, passing on to Chris. So next question that I have is, how can I give access to others in my company to view the dashboard?
Uh, Sorry. How can you give access to?
To others in your company or in our company so that they can view the dashboard.
All right. So yes, you can do that by assigning it to manage users. So you can assign so up to the super admin can do that, and yeah, you should be teach them how to, or just a quick walkthrough for assigning.
Yep, I think we also have here a link that could serve as a guide. So it has the user access and then Sofa Central Admin. From there, you will be presented of the Sofa service, Sofa's self-service portal, and then from there, I think you can assign a user that could log into your dashboard. That definitely it's worth giving a read. It's
Oh
gonna
yeah.
teach you all of this settings on how you can actually have a user access
Oh
that
yeah.
dashboard. But yep.
Oh yeah. There is several steps for the user access, but
Yeah.
definitely you can manage your users there. I'm also gonna paste the link because there's a bunch of user access like steps and documentation. So yeah.
All right. So
And
mhm.
yeah, moving on to our next question. I have seen a lot of detections for one of my devices. Who can I contact about that?
So we have here like this tiers in terms of your point of contact. So any questions about health check recommendations, cases, detections, or anything that is threat related, definitely you have to reach out to our ops team or stock team. So anything that is urgent, you can utilize their phone numbers. So that's gonna be part of Latter's presentation slides, or anything that is not urgent, you can just use their shared domain or shared mailbox. You have here MDR happen ops at sophos.com. So an increase, but just an additional answer to that. So an increase of detection doesn't necessarily mean that it could cause an alarm. However, it is also still worth checking what those detections are implying, especially if that is like high severity, critical severity kind of detections. Definitely it's worth checking to the NDR ops team. And of course, if you notice that something's unusual in terms of your overall environment, a host, a device, definitely reach out to our team if you have like any questions or suspicious of any malicious activities. Okay, passing on to the last question that I have. So I'm gonna let Chris answer this one. I see no cases. What are you guys doing to ensure that we are still protected?
All right. So yeah, that is a good one. So yeah, we are doing proactive threat hunting as well, aside from just waiting for cases to happen. So MDR ops team is constantly doing this proactive threat hunts to improve the detections and the platform overall. As we mentioned, you can see it on your MDR dashboard as just a one pager for everything, just approved metrics. And you can see some unescalated cases to see the number of cases that we have in fact worked, but did not need to escalate to your team.
All
All
right,
right.
so I
Mhm.
guess that's it for our questions for today. However, like I said, if you have like any more questions, anything that is cases specific or company specific kind of questions, then definitely reach out to our shared mailbox, or anything that is generic kind of questions, just post them in the Q&A and our team's more than happy to answer those questions for you. But Jeff, next slide please. Okay, so point of contacts. Chris, you wanna take this over or?
Oh yeah, sure. So for the who can help the relevant teams for you, we have our MDR ops team. So if you have any questions about your health check, any recommendations that you wanted to discuss for any of your cases. And any detections, investigations, our MDR ops are very much available 24/7, especially for active incidents. Feel free to call them on based on the regional numbers. And then for the MDR reports, any questions about it for your weekly and monthly report, you can also ask us about your reports and any service questions, dashboard assistance, feature requests, and feedback. And for any support case escalations, you have us, LNI, and also the rest of the team. Then for any performance issues, if you have any login issues, you will be you should be heading to our tech support. And then for our PS team or ProServe team, any product configuration assistance, if you have guided onboarding, then they will be the one taking care of you.
All
And
right,
on
so
to you,
this
El.
is just, yep. So this is just a more detailed contact information of our team. So this is also now available in the central, especially the allow list domains. So of course, as you move along with the NDR, you will be receiving this continuous communications from our team. So we now have this in the central, just in case you want to review whether our domains are actually whitelisted. And then for the detailed contact information of our MDR Ops team, you have their shared mailbox, mdr-ops at sofas.com. Anything that is urgent, you can utilize these phone numbers. The default one is always the US, Canada. And then if your region is actually not listed in here, you can just choose which one is the most cost efficient for you. And then any general questions about the service, you have our team, mdr-csm at sofas.com, and we are available from Mondays to Fridays on the normal business hours, 8 to 5.
Perfect. And yes, we just have a QR code our survey, so it may take a few minutes if you wanted to scan for any of your thoughts, feedback, and any like suggestions on our next fundamentals for office hours.
All right, so I guess that's it for today's discussion. Thank you so much again, everyone, for joining today's session, and we'll hope to see you again on the last topic for this month's fundamentals, which is the integrations. And
Mhm.
yep, thank you so much, and you guys have a good one. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Al. Bye.
Bye for now.